Assalamu alaikum. This is level 2 Q skills, unit 7, page 153, section grammar, and the topic is simple past and past continuous. You need to use the simple past to make the sentences in the past. When you want to describe single completed action or series of completed actions. For example, if you look here, I bought the new novel for my favorite author yesterday. So this one here is a single completed action because it's a one action that was completed in the past. Now if you take a look at the next example, Mark drove home, unloaded his car and made a cup of coffee. So this is series of completed actions, because here in the sentence it's not like one action, but there are three actions together joined by the conjunction and it's a long sentence, right? So if you want to write sentence like this, series of completed actions or a single completed action, you need to use simple past. And as you know that for simple past, you have to use past form of the verb or V2, like I buy. No, you can't use buy here, but you have to use V2 or past verb 2 or past form of the verb. You can say I bought the new novel by my favorite author yesterday. So here, same here, Mark drove. Drove is the V2, verb 2, or we can say the past form of the verb drive. Drive, drove. And here unload and unloaded. This is the past form of make, made. Right. So that's how you make this simple past, by using the past form of the verb. You can also use simple past to describe habitual or repeated actions. Habitual actions, like for example, last summer I went to the park every weekend. So every weekend means you're going to the park every weekend, and that's a habitual action, right? This one here is the habitual action that you went to the park every weekend. So anything that that is a habit, or you know, it's your habit, or so for this you can use simple past. Or I sent Layla 3 emails, but she never replied. And this one here is the repeated action, like 3 emails, right? So 3 emails is repeated action. And then use, so that's how for these things we can use simple past form to describe these actions or these series of, but the action should be completed. That's very important, that whenever you talk about the past, in the simple past, it means the action is complete, right? Now you can also use past continuous. but we use past continuous for the duration. For the duration of an action. Duration meaning for a time, at that time when the action was happening, right? So that's what the duration means. Like I was talking on the phone for hours last night, so I was talking. So this I was talking is a duration for hours. So it's a duration, it's a time that you can make. This is the sentence that you can make for the time in the past. And for this we use was and were, and you use was with the singular pronouns he, she, it, and I. We also use was with I, and we use were with they, you, we. The plural pronouns we and they, the plural pronouns we and they, and also we use were with you. After that we use base form of the verb with ing. Same here, if you look here, I was, and then base form here, which is talk, and you're using ing with it, so I was talking. So I was talking, now it has become past continuous. Same here, my brother was. Why? Because it's a singular noun here, brother, right? So my brother was acting, so was acting, so we're using was because we have a singular noun, so that's why. And after that, act, it's a verb, base form of the verb with ing. So this is actually how you make this past continuous also, and you use it for the duration of an action in the past. Sometimes this duration of an action, if you want to describe that it was interrupted by any other action, right? For example, here like this, when I was going to Riyadh, and somewhere here you received a call from your father. So this one here is the interrupted action, right? Here action was interrupted by, the duration was interrupted by the call of your father. So for this action, which is showing the duration, we use the past continuous, and for the action here which interrupts this duration, we use simple past, right? And with this duration we use when and while. And when. For example, here, if you take a look here, Sultan left the room while the teacher was still talking. So while means the teacher at that time when the teacher was talking, right? So this is the duration here. So teacher was talking. What happened? Sultan, somewhere here, Sultan left the room. Right? So that's how this is interrupted the action, right? So that's how. So for this, you use simple past, and for this, the duration, you use past continuous, and that action that interrupts the duration, use simple past for this. And always this while and when we use it with the duration. Keep in mind. When I was studying in South Korea, I met many interesting people, right? So that's how this is the duration here, and this one here is the event happened during that duration. So that's how actually you do it. Next stop here is you need to check the function of the simple past in bold in the sentence. Okay. So I left the restaurant at 6 p.m. last night. So you have to find out if it's a single action, series of actions, or repeated action, right? So you can easily go back here and find out that, for example, first one I do it for you, and then, for example, I left the restaurant at 6 p.m. last night. So you go to the example box and you will find out that here, this one here is single action. So I bought the new because it's a single action. This is what happened, right? So this is a single action happened last night. So you have to tick here for the single action, right? Right. So the rest of the sentences you have to find it yourself, right? Okay. And the next stop here is we have same like we need to find out if it's a duration or interrupted action, right? So action was interrupted or not. So for example, first one I'll do it for you. Jim broke his leg while he was playing soccer, right? So of course, as you can see that this in a bold italics is you see that it's interrupted. It's an interrupted action, right? So this one here, this one is an interrupted action. So this one here is an interrupted action. So the rest of the sentences that you have to do it yourself, that you need to find out if it's a duration or interrupted action. I hope that you understood the simple past and past continuous and the use here. And still, if you have some questions about this grammar, you can ask your teacher in the virtual class. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.